Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to take a photo that looks like this and turn it into this. MacMost is brought to you thanks to its community of supporters. Join us and get exclusive content at MacMost.com/Patreon. So it's not always possible to get the perfect shot. Here I'm trying to get a straight on view of the front of this building. Now one thing I would need to do is to hover in midair to do that, and I'm not quite capable of that. Another thing I need to do is stand further back, and I've got another building right behind me, so I can't do that either. But I can use photo editing software to change this image so it looks like I'm shooting it straight on from far away. So I'm going to do this using the app Pixelmator. I'm using Pixelmator version 3.8.3. It's pretty easy to do in Pixelmator because there's a tool specifically for this. I'm going to go to Edit and then Transform. And once I'm in Transform mode I can click the Settings button here and change the mode to Perspective. Let's first zoom out a bit so we can see a little bit of the surrounding area, because I'm going to grab this point here and I'm going to drag it out to change the perspective. And the idea here is I'm looking at the windows to get a vertical line. So you can see there are three sets of windows in the main part of the building. The top ones with the shutters open. I want to get those to basically line up so there's a vertical line going from here all the way down. And once I get it, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, just pretty good, then I can hit OK. And I've done that part. Next I notice that there's a little bit of a slant here. I'm not perfectly level with this. So I'm going to rotate things. So I'm going to transform again. This time I'm going to leave it at free transform, and if I grab a corner here and hold the command key down I can rotate. So I can move a little bit here to the right to get this a little bit more horizontal. And I'm just lining this up to be horizontal. And I'll hit OK. Now that I've done that I have a little extra piece here that's not filled in at the bottom, and also I think I don't want this top part of the building there. So I'm going to use the crop tool and going to crop from here and then down to the bottom. I'm going to hold the command key down so it doesn't snap to the bottom there, and I can crop it. So this works best on photos that show very flat things. A face of a building works really well as long as there's nothing protruding or you can't see into the building too much. It also works great if you take a picture of a painting. So if you're at a gallery or an art museum or something like that, you take a picture of a painting but you can't get it straight on and you want it to look like the actual painting, you can use this technique to correct the perspective. So let me show you quickly how you would do this in a couple of other tools. So here I'm in Acorn version 6.33. And to do the perspective transformation you go to Layer, Rotate and Transform, Perspective Transform, and each corner is independent. So I want to drag this one out and then this one out. And I actually want to work with each one a few times because they kind of fight each other a little bit until I get things more or less the way I want. Double click to apply. Then I can go to Layer, Rotate and Transform, and Scale and Rotate. And now if I click outside of the area I can rotate and get a little bit more horizontal. Double click on it to apply it, and then I can use their cropping tool here. Do a similar crop. Hold the control key down so it doesn't snap to the bottom. And double click to apply, and now I've got the same result. So finally here's how to do it in Photoshop. First thing you want to do is select all. Just do Command A there, and then I'll go to Edit, Transform, and Perspective. And it's a very similar tool to what we've been using before. You can grab a corner here, drag it out, get those windows to be vertical, and then you can click the check to commit. Go to Edit, then Transform, Rotate, and now we can rotate this a little bit to get a little more horizontal and commit that. And now we can use the crop tool and crop in to just the area that we want. And at the bottom here I'm going to use the control key so I can not have it snap to the bottom, and commit to that. And we have our result there in Photoshop. So you may wonder if you can just do this in the Photos app. There's no perspective tool in the Photos app, but you can edit with an external editor. So you can jump right from your photo to one of these three editors and then back again. So here I am in Photos. I've got the photo I want to change. I'll go to Image, Edit With, and I've got all my apps here. Photoshop, Acorn, Pixelmator. I'll take it into Pixelmator and it opens it up as a document. Zoom out a bit and make the change just as I did before, except it's going to take a little more work with this particular photo. But eventually I get something I think looks pretty decent. I'll go and then just save and close, and the changed photo is now in my Photos app. And since Photos is non-destructive, I can always go into Edit here and I can compare it to the original or revert to that original if I want to. I publish new tutorials every weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Then hit the little bell icon to get notifications for each new tutorial.